Woo! Pretty excited, guys. Today's going to be a pretty cool day. Going to head over to Delaware Paddle Sports, my favorite kayak shop on the planet. Pick up a brand new kayak. Not going to reveal it yet. Going to wait till I get there. So stay tuned for that. Then I'm going to stop off at kind of like a local pond that's on the eastern shore called Tuckahoe. And, you know, just kind of wet a line. Got the Advantage bait, spinner bait back there. Got some Lew's rod and reels. Just brought two with me. Gonna test it out. I'm actually buying this boat unseen, never tested. Just gonna do it based on the recommendations of some people that I really trust. So, you know, let's get out there and, you know, let's go pick up this boat. Let's get over to Delaware Paddle Sports. Alrighty, y'all. We gotta talk about something real serious. There's a button in this truck that does something pretty evil. Let me tell you, all right? So it's a balmy 39 degrees right now, and you know, had the old heat seater on, cedar heater, and yeah, just had a coffee, just had a Wild Watch biscuit, sausage and biscuit, egg, cheese. So you can imagine, I'm trying to paint the picture for you. You're lucky you can't smell the picture. But yeah, so this heater, geez, get it right, man. This seat heater is throwing the flatulence back at me. Let's just put it that way. It's throwing little air biscuits right back at my way. It's heating them little air biscuits right back up, and it's throwing them right back, so I'm getting them. But the thing is I need a name for that. Like, I don't know if you've ever named your farts or anything. Like, I've got some pretty infamous named farts. Back in my childhood, yeah, I got like I call this one the Virginia Creeper, right? The Virginia Creeper, this is one I pulled on my parents back in the day, is when you stick your butt next to the crack between the floor and the door, and your parents are in there. They're, you know, who knows what's going on behind closed doors. But then you let it out, right? And you let that creeper out, and that creeper seeps under that door. And once he gets in that door, it's a real mood spoiler. Let's put it that way. That's one of my pride and joys. The other one I like to call the sleeper, right? I put the sleeper on my dad one time too. Now the sleeper is an interesting one. It's a time delay, right? So what you got to do, you got to get them nice cloth, foam sofa sleepers, and you know, a couch essentially. And what you do is you implant it, you inception it into the couch. That way, it's like a bouncing Betty. That way, when the next person comes along, boom, sets down on that couch, poof, up comes the sleeper. That's, whoo! I did that one too one time. It held true for a good 30 minutes. I mean, a time delay, but yeah, it lingered a little while. Should have seen my dad's face when he got hit with the sleeper, the old Bouncing Betty. I was torn between the names. I could have called it the Bouncing Betty, or I could have called it the sleeper. I went with the sleeper. That sounds more swift and assassin-like, so that's why I went that route. But this one, I'm having trouble coming up with a name. So if you would, drop a comment down below. What do you think the name of this fart should be? I mean, you got the truck heater, the heated seats. There's got to be a good name for it, like the hot magma or something like that, or the hot tamale. I don't know, man. So let me know down in the comments section below. I'm actually going to bring a lot more of just my personality into these videos too, because this is really me. This is who I am. This is why I do these videos, because I have fun and I love doing videos for you guys. Alrighty, y'all. Let's get back on the road. I hope you enjoyed that little segment. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe. Let's get over there and pick up this dark kayak. All right, y'all, we have made it to Delaware Paddle Sports. Let's get in here and get this kayak. All right, y'all, so just picked up the old boat. it's blue. That's your first hint. I'm gonna get over to a local pond and drop it in the water and get kind of my first field test of it, because I've never used it. I've heard really great things about it, how stable it is and how well it paddles, how comfortable it is, the accessories and so forth. Let's get over to Tuckahoe and drop this in the water on probably one of the best testing days possible, because it is windy, supposed to be gusting 40 miles an hour today, and that's why they canceled my tournament. So let's do it. All right, guys, I was on my way home here, and I saw some folks that look like they got their truck stuck, and figured I might be able to give them some help. So pulling over and go ask them if they need some help getting their car unstuck. As like I said, I saw them on the way by. Stand by. All right, guys. You try to use this big old truck for something here. Like I said, I saw these guys. I could tell he was kind of spinning out there a little bit, so let's turn that off. With a kayak in the back and all. I don't want to go too far. Keep something on the pavement there. Hopefully the straps I have will work. It shouldn't need just but a little bit of a tug.
Okay. Almost had her.
See if I got some. I bet we don't need anything too fancy. Oh. Here we go, guys. Pulling this gentleman out right here. He's out. As am I. Boom! Doing a good deed for the day. Go get my strap. The guy was saying, he's like, oh, you don't need to sail today, man. Or, you don't need a paddle. Asking me if I was going to take my kayak out and everything. Always good to help other people out, man, especially when you get a chance to. I could have just kept on driving, but you know, that's just I don't know, that's just who I am. It's where I come from. When you see people out in the country, and you know, you always stop and give them a helping hand. How I was raised. Luckily I had my straps handy and was able to just, like I said, give this guy some help. Get back on the road, back the other direction. There you go, guys. First look at the brand new boat. And a couple ooze rods there. Paddle. And take her out on the water. Maiden voyage. See if we can get some slime on it. All right, guys. Here we are. Kind of like I said, the first voyage of the Bonafide SS127. Pretty darn cool kayak. A lot of thought went into building this kayak, and you know, that's why I had no problem buying it sight unseen, just to come out here and check it out, just to like I said, buy it without ever having paddled it. I've already, you know, right now I'm in a strong north wind, northwest wind. Again, they canceled my tournament because of this, so you know, I'm gonna throw this old spinnerbait around here for a little while. This is the Advantage spinnerbait. It's one that I kind of custom made with the white Colorado and a chartreuse willow blade, willow leaf there. But it's dirty water here, as you can see. So this should be pretty good. Just gonna drift this a little bit, kind of drift and cast here. I have missed fishing in a kayak, so that is part of the reason why I decided to get another kayak. I like how slim this is. Like, you might think that it is a wide boat, but it is not. It is a fairly slim boat. I'm gonna slow roll this spinnerbait, see if we can get anything. Let's give it an old stand-up test. Again, a lot of thought went into that. Look how easy that is. Just pop that there. And I want you to know that, you know, in no way am I affiliated with Bonafide at all. I put my money where my mouth is, and I test things out, and I'm not going to recommend something to you guys without having tested out. And that's something a lot of us YouTubers we pride ourselves on, is that, you know, we're not just out here
taking every single thing that somebody might throw money at us for. You know, I paid my money for this boat. When we recommend stuff, we want to give you the best idea possible. Gotta get it, and best review possible that's based on a review that's not some over-sponsored review. Man, look at how that's why I got that guy right there. All right, back down here. Back of a wind-blown point here, should be warmer water, should be exactly where they're at, man. Right in this area. You know, the stability is there for what they say it is. It's got those two kind of pontoon holes that are right here that give you that added stability. I love the sea decking on this, or whatever this mat is. I forgot if it's marine mat or if it's something else, but really good. You can see that it's a dry kayak too. There's not water coming up, pulling in the hole or anything from the scuppers. That's always something that you need to look at. Got that pod there. One thing that I didn't know about the pod, but the pod actually, there is a hole that goes straight to water. So if I were to remove that, you would see water down there. So that's pretty cool. They might do a pedal drive in the future because it's perfect length. I mean, it really is. Right there, perfect length for a pedal drive. So I think they could integrate that in. They've probably thought of that because again, they've thought about a lot of things with this kayak. Just like, you know, with your different areas, you can put rod and reels and stuff. Like this little tunnel up there is actually for kind of your long poles, your push poles, power poles in transit. I'm sure you could do rod and reels along that line as well. Let's see if I were able to put this right here. Rod and reel, maybe even latch it down on over here on this side with this strap that's right there. But I like, and I don't have it there, but you know, these rod staging stuff right there, you know, for backwater and everything. That was one of the things that always ticked me off so much about kayaking, was that when I would get in situations with my pole sticking up in the back, they'd all get caught up and everything, and you know, so I like the ability to, yeah, it, you know, takes a few paddles to get her turned around, but you know, I didn't have to overexert myself or anything. But I like keeping my rods down low. I bought this to be a kayak fishing machine, man, so I'm looking forward to it. Loving all these track mounts. I may integrate motor cables so that I can put a trolling motor on this and move it utilizing the pedals. Again, they thought of so much stuff with this kayak, and not one single cup holder, which you don't need a cup holder. All right, let me just tell you that. You can buy that as an accessory if you need it, but you know, true anglers don't necessarily have to have a cup holder. All right, it's middle of the day, sun is warming up, should be some fish getting up shallow. Again, middle of the day here. You might have to cover some water. Keeps that rod tip low right there too if you got shorter rods on your kayak, especially right there in the up, because you're swinging in this area, you know, and if you have a rod tip sticking up high in this area. So I like that, and I like that once I put my little tray there, or I sit in the higher position, that's going to get those rod tips out of my way. I ain't got to worry about breaking my rods. Trying to reel this spinner bait just below the surface to where I can't see it right there. There's some emerging pads and everything that are coming out through here, so that's actually kind of good to see that in these shallower areas that there's some pads coming out. You know, you can always burn these spinner baits across the top of these emergent pads. I know here on the Potomac, that's something I'm going to be doing pretty soon. As those pads come in and water gets over the top of them, you know, you'll be able to burn a spinnerbait like this Advantage spinnerbait right here over the top. Man, you hear that wind. I can only imagine what the Potomac is like today. I was hoping this water would be a little bit warmer over here. This is, you know, this is your northwest shore. That's part of why it's protected from the wind. But it's your northwest shore, and this is This is the area that's going to get the most sun all day long. This means it should be the warmer water. It's also not having the wind blow across it, the current blow across it. So this should be like the prime spot here. Had a follower. That follower, he didn't commit. So I'm going to try to see if I can't do something a little bit different. See if I can't get him to commit, because he followed it. So I'm going to just vary my retrieve a little bit. It's kind of the advantages. There he is. Woohoo! Oh, I knew it'd be you, Slimy. I knew you'd be the first one. I want you first one. Oh, you touched the boat, you turd. Forever tainted. My boat is forever tainted now because of you. Woo. All right, guys, back at it. Retied after Mr. Pickerel. Tried to bite off my lure here. I hope I didn't lost all that footage probably. Well, guys, I didn't restart my camera, so I think I might have lost a lot of good footage. A lot of good footage of that fish. But oh well, a really good fish, 4-pounder at least. It's probably bordering on 5, and she put up a good fight. Man, I really needed that because I drove all the way to Florida for some dinks, let me tell you, and that was rough. Fishing thus far, just hadn't been able to get out and do a lot of fishing yet. I'm glad I hit record on that fish there, because that was a good fish. It's funny how I was pretty good, decent amount offshore when I caught that fish. This Bonafide really tracks very straight. That is one of the claims to fame for this boat, is just how well it tracks, and I can absolutely tell you that it's tracking extremely well. Not just well or good, extremely well. I just turned my camera off to save battery. Ah well, there will be more, guys. There will be fish. Put this guy over here. Put him here. Look at this. Not the best place for my thing there, but bam, look at that, locked down. I love that. That is awesome. You imagine doing like a river trip and just having a few, two, 3 rod and reels, 2 locked down on your sides there, and you're good to go. There you go, now the wind's got it. But it's a real high quality components on there. And that light wire is going to provide thump, but I created this one on his website specifically for this type of water. Well, guys, that was fun, and man, I'm glad to have a kayak again. If you're looking for a kayak, definitely check out the Bonafide SS127. Full review coming in a few months after I've got a lot of good time on the water with it. Tell you the kinks. Again, super gusty wind out there. I can tell you that it performed very well in that. Not going to say that it was, you know, just speeding up the lake in 40 mile an hour gusts there. It definitely wasn't. But it turned really well. It tracked better than any kayak I've ever owned. Any kayak. Hobie, Native, Wilderness. It tracked better than all of those. What else can I say about it? You know, it doesn't absolutely turn on a dime. It takes a couple paddles, but you know, it's a bigger, stabler, firmer kayak base to fish from. So, you know, perfectly okay with that. It drifted well in the water. That was something that when I was drifting a bank, drifted very well. So it's got a lot of different features on it that I haven't even grazed the surface of yet. So we'll put some time in. I also picked up a sea tug cart. First sea tug I've ever owned. Huge fan of the Boondocks landing gear. Although I didn't really see the mounting options for it here. Granted, it's got the tracks in the back. You know, I went with the sea tug this time. It was a little runny. It's a little cold out there. Definitely 45 degrees, but hey, still caught a pig of a fish. Caught a little small one. Caught some pickerel. That's a good day right there, guys. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good one.